What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Persistence Daily Update. Before I move on, make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with some friends out there. Everybody needs to see the value of this programming and see the value that you get on a daily basis, and to spread the word to really see how fit we can make our community. Now, let's get right into it. Our strength today is a more interesting one. Other than our 1 rep max snatches, we're going to do a 2 rep max snatch. Now, to make it more interesting, I kind of talk about it, and I'll talk about it in the classes. You'll see it right here on the bottom right. It says a 2 rep max snatch, and you're going to see basically a 5-second split. So basically you have to hit the snatch, and in between that 5-second period, you have to hit the second snatch. So it does not need to be touch and go. All right, guys, for our strength today, like we talked about, is a 2 rep max snatch. Now, I talked really briefly upon how to actually set up back and forth for this, but basically what I'd like to see as we get set up, before I break down the movement, is you do that 1 lift, you take a big step back, count. I mean, it doesn't have to be a perfect 5 seconds, but it's that nice big mental break to figure out what we need to fix maybe on the second one, or reattempt that second one just like we did for the first lift, right? So a couple things as we pick this thing up. Notice I have all the weights on the bar for this. I'm not going to try to go super heavy and demo this for you guys. Now, a couple things. Like I talk about, feet are under our hips and our toes are going to be more pointed outward. Now, the reason why we do this is allow our knees to push out a little bit farther to create a better bar path up and down, right? So as I come down to pick it up, that nice wide grip, preferably anything in that hip range. We can talk about it in a second. We're going to drive this bar out. Knees are going to press out, eyes are going to forward, heels are down. Now, if I can do it in bands, you can definitely do it there. Now, I talk about this a lot with our members and our coaches as far as where we need to bring our eyes and how our feet need to be set up. Now, if our feet are straight forward, this knee path or this bar path is going to be a lot harder because we're going to have to go around our knees. If I turn my knees out, notice how they naturally are going to push out instead of this way. They have no really place to go. So we come forward, turn those toes out, shoulders back and down, eyes forward, chest nice and proud. As we come up, it's a leg press to the ground. Use the lats to keep the bar close. Notice how my shoulders are slightly in front. Tuck that bar into the hips. We start to bring our shoulders vertical to the roof and the ceiling. Squeeze the butt and lock in extension, right? Now, if you heard Coach Sean, he always say hips forward. This is that meaning of the hip drive forward that we get to a full extension, that emphasis, right? From there, it's that nice high pull up to as high as we possibly can. Notice how my shoulders are still slightly over the bar, and then a real quick turn over and catch. Set your feet, bring it back down, and set, and then reattempt, right? So, if you have any questions at all, make sure you ask your coach on this movement. For our workout today, it is 4 time. You have a 12-minute cap. I like this one because it's a little different. The open comes around, but you see these little different weights. It is rep scheme of 5, 10, 15, and 20 of overhead squats. For men, it's 140 pounds. For women, it's just 100 pounds. And then we have chest to bar pull-ups. All right, guys, so for the overhead squats, again, I'm not gonna go super heavy to demo this, but I wanna break this down a little bit more so we can understand how we can get through this workout. It's an ascending rep scheme, and the weight's not too light, so we do have to think about this a lot more as we get into it. My tips on this one, guys, try to keep that 5 and 10 of the overhead squat broken. If you're gonna break it all, 15 and 20, but do your best trying to set it down. I'm gonna show you exactly the best way to rest in a workout like this. So we have the option to clean and jerk or snatch it. Since this is a lighter weight for me, I'm going to snatch it overhead. As we bring it overhead, we're gonna set that wide grip, right? Set your feet up. Now, I'm not gonna do a full overhead squat, but I would like to see, as we do this, we're pressing, activating the shoulders, right? So we're constantly pressing up. Now, I'm gonna turn my elbows in, shoulders back and down, and as I get ready to descend, that's that position. A lot of people in the overhead squat like to hold this bar out in front because they feel confident here, but it's head through in that midline of my body, right? Midline's usually where our shoulders track if we're standing nice and tall. So if I set that thing straight down, it's resting on my shoulders. Now, like I talked about, if I were to talk to you about where to rest the barbell instead of setting it down, this is that point. You can set it back down, take a big breath, re-dip and press, and now you're ready to overhead squat again. All right, guys, for the chest to bar in this workout, I broke down the butterfly pull-up a little bit more so in the last week's videos, but this week I'm going to be more in that kipping side. So for those members that quite don't have that butterfly and make it look all pretty, we still need to work on the efficiency in our kip, because our kip is very important, especially for any other gymnastic movements like bar muscle ups or ring muscle ups, right? So if I would like to see basically those 5 breathers, do this unbroken, do as far as you can unbroken. For those normal members, maybe break this up into 5s, do a set of 5 in the first part, obviously you get unbroken, then next set of 10, 5, 5, 15s, 5, 5, 5, and same thing for the 20s. A couple things when we get to the chest to bar. In a pull-up, all we have to do is get our chin up, right? Chin over the bar. Now in a chest to bar, we actually have to touch our chest. Now, for those members in there that think we're doing chest to bar, it's not how close you get, it's not my chest got the same height as the bar. No, it's chest needs to make contact. The open's almost here. We will no rep you. Some of the members are gonna no rep you as well, and it's a mandatory thing, so don't get mad at them. Now, a couple things that can help you do this, as far as that, is a simple tip and trick is flexions, all right? So if we sit in a normal, my chest is normal, if I can flex, this movement is pretty much a 2 to 3 inch movement that helps us get through. The other thing is, as we get to our pull, you'll notice when I do one kip for you, is my elbows are actually not gonna pull from a bottom position, they'll pull from more of a lateral position. And that allows us to get a little bit farther in our kip and a little bit higher so we can touch our chest. And then I'll go over some tips real quick on how to get those single chest to bar pull-ups and the efficiency of a bigger kip, right? So, one thing on the kip is to really get confident in is just being controlled in our shoulders and our lats. So that normal kip back and forth, right, as we go through. And what we need to do, and a lot of people don't talk about, is our arch is probably the most important part for any of our kipping movements. Everybody avoids the arch because it's something that doesn't look like it's doing much, but imagine something like a ramp where you get all the power from, right? So if I come up the ramp and then through the middle of the ramp, that downward part of the ramp where nobody really cares about after the lands, or after the trick is landed, right? That's where we build the next momentum to come up on the other side of the ramp, right? So same thing applies with the arch and the kipping pull-up or this chest to bar pull-up. The bigger the arch, the higher I'm gonna get up there, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna jump from behind. We talked about like this with Coach Sean last week as far as the arch position or the Frankenstein jump. You could do the same exact thing for the chest to bar. So big jump in, arch, confidently hit the chest, right? Couple cracks in my shoulder there. But a couple things I want you to focus on as we get through it is flexion, confidently hit the chest, and then the next thing, if you want to cycle it, push away into that. So I'm going to show you 2 real quick in that nice controlled arch and hollow position as I'm on top of the bar, pushing away, controlling the now motion back into my arch, and then controlling that next one, the last one. So ready? Good. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this with some awesome friends out there. They would love to see the benefits of what we have for you. But again, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I'll catch you guys soon.